Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day today. Today's video, we're going to be talking about why junior developers can't find a job and some of the reasons why you're not able to secure a job after doing interviews. Okay. So, first things first, you have to understand that the job market itself is super competitive. The job market is unforgiving. And if you're seeing any junior level positions out there that companies are posting just to get someone in to help them either fix bugs, help with support, figure out how to build out features and functionality, then you should be able to do so. But there are a lot of common factors that come with just applying to these jobs. I mean, if you look at just going the route of just applying, it's not going to land you a gig. It's just not. The reason for that is that, like I said, the job market is very competitive. A lot of people are applying for these jobs, and some of them are underqualified. And the reason why they're underqualified is probably because they inflated their resume with a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense, that looks important to the recruiter, right? Like certain keywords, and then they could BS their way into getting an interview and most likely a job offer. Then also is just not doing the due diligence of reaching out and networking with other people that are either working for the same company or just in general in tech that could help you. Okay. So it's not like what it used to be back in 2019, 2018, where you could just apply to a job and you most likely would get an interview. And you would just go through the steps of like doing a phone screen, a technical interview, then a cultural fit interview, and then like a one-on-one with like the manager and all that stuff to see if you're actually a good fit. So here's the thing. I'm gonna give you guys a couple red flags in terms of why you're not getting these interviews or actually going through the interview process correctly, and some of the things that you could work on right now to fast track your way to potentially getting a job. Number one is that your portfolio is too small, bro. You got all these easy projects on your portfolio. You got a basic web page that shows responsive web design. That's cool and all, but what about like, capturing customer information? How about a login form or a registration form? How would you create different accounts for the website so that when you log in, you have a different experience? This is very important. If you can't do that, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like we look at these portfolios now, and some of these portfolios that I have seen personally, whether it's through YouTube or just people asking for advice, they're not complete. They're not complete. There's projects that shouldn't even be on there. And you have to really start looking at real world problems and creating an app that will solve that problem. So if there's a problem that you're trying to solve today, that is a pain point in your life, that is something that you're passionate about, start building a project towards that goal. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's working, basic functionality, that's all that matters. And the more you learn doing other projects to solve problems, you could come back and refactor your code. And I've said this in multiple videos, but for you junior developers out there, you have to put in the work every single day. You have to create these habits. You don't create these habits, you don't put in the work, it's gonna show in your portfolio. It's also gonna show in your skills on the interview. So please do these projects effectively. Just write something out. Use a framework that will make it easier. Use AI, bro. Everybody's scared of AI. Some junior developers are like, oh, I'm scared of AI because if I use it too much, then I won't be learning anything. I won't be grasping the concepts. This is your chance to use AI to help with programming a solution. It will get you there a lot faster, but you need to understand the steps and have it break down exactly what it's doing. If you don't do that, you just allow it to write code for you. Yes, you're not going to learn it. But if you have it trained to where, okay, can you create this function that filters out data that has like an active flag in it or has like this name in it, and explain the workflow. If you write that prompt in AI, it should give you the code itself, and then the breakdown of what the code is actually doing. And then you could apply it in your project and actually refactor it to a way that it makes sense to you. So use it to your advantage. I don't understand when there's a tool that's free, and if you pay $10 or $20 a month for more features and other things you could do, why you won't take it? Because I can understand I can't justify paying $100 for a tool unless it's like really solving a problem. But 10 to 20 bucks, yo, that's cheap, bro. That's cheap. So make sure you get your portfolio ready to go and work on these cool projects in mind, okay? Number 2 is, like I said in the beginning, man, your resume has a bunch of buzzwords. It has a bunch of languages that you've learned, but there's no confidence with it. So when you go to interview, right? You go to interview and the phone screen checks out. Cool. Technical interview. They got you writing code, you freeze up. Why? Because either you did not practice, or you just don't know what you're doing. So stop with this shit. Seriously. This is what you should do when it comes to this. Put on your resume what you actually learned and have it tied to your portfolio. So at least you would have all these nice looking projects on your portfolio laid out all nice and neat. You have your GitHub account linked so that you can look at the projects and actually look at the source code, and I could piece together whether use AI to build everything or you actually wrote the code. So if you're able to do that, and then, if I go to your portfolio and then I go to your resume and everything looks legit, then you should have no problem with the technical interview. Even if I'm asking you questions about a particular language that you're learning, or at least like that you have experience with, you should be able to give me the basics at least of how to solve a particular problem. Because some of these technical interviews, they could be very complex to where you have to really solve a problem and dissect the problem into separate sections. And usually it's like an hour or a half hour, you have to figure out a solution. Or you just have to answer relative questions around a particular language in what are some of the important fundamentals that a developer needs to code in that language, okay? If you're able to do that, you should be fine. It just comes off like during the interview, if you can't really, and with confidence, actually talk about your projects, how you wrote it, and run through like the entire code, and give a demo about that, and actually talk about definitive results that you were able to accomplish, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a huge red flag, bro. So don't put BS on your resume. It will get called out quick and you will be embarrassed on that interview. Number 3 is, bro, communication, bro. Communication. If you're on an interview, you can't communicate, you can't articulate yourself well. And I get it, people get nervous on interviews. I was the same way too. I usually get in my head a lot during interviews, especially the technical interviews. But I realized that the more I practiced on particular topics, the easier it would be. And the more confident I would be on these calls. It's like being thrown into doing a presentation and you have no idea what you're doing a presentation about. Having poor communication, whether it's through an interview or with a team, is not going to guarantee you a job. You have to show that you could communicate and work between different teams. If you're able to do this, you should be able to land that job. Communication at the end of the day is what it is. This is very important, okay? This is very important that you do this. I communicate every single day with people from different teams to solve problems. If there's different things that are going on, I'm like, yo, let's jump on a call, let's figure it out, let's brainstorm as to why this isn't working correctly and what you're expecting the results to be. And we can make adjustments. Just sitting there, just working, and then when the finished product is there and you check it in and everything's all good, then another team is like, this is not what we want, you're gonna be mad. So this is why communication is important, especially when you're stuck on a problem. Do not spin your wheels on a problem that takes more than 45 minutes to understand. If you can't understand that, reach out to someone that knows more than you. Schedule that call. You have to work on talking to other people and actually working together on different problems. As a junior dev, this is crucial to your growth in getting and landing that job. Number 4, if you don't know what you want to do and you're not actually every single day achieving some type of goal or trying to figure out what your why is first, then really dissecting exactly how would you get to that end goal, then you won't make it. You lack a growth mindset. The only way developers thrive is with a growth mindset. I was not as good when I was a web developer. When I first started, all I knew was HTML, CSS, SQL, and PHP. I didn't even know how to write in PHP. I learned all that stuff on my own. But from there, I was like, okay, I have the skills to now use these languages to build a nice web app or web application. But then as time went on, I realized that there are better ways to write code in PHP to solve major problems. So if you wanted to connect to a database and actually run a routine to update a database or actually get data from a database and show it visually in a table customly, PHP is really good for that. If you wanted to create a way to create a single sign-on application, that's a middle layer for when someone was to be already logged into a website, but then use SSO to route them to another application based on, their credentials, you could use PHP to do that, And I had to figure all that stuff out. And I started to learn and grow and understand how to build out CMS systems like WordPress, Joomla, really understand that craft, understand how everything worked under the hood and how the backend should be secure and all that stuff. And then as a software engineer, the same thing. I had to really push myself to learn React. I did not know how to write effectively in React, and that was an issue. So with that being said, if you don't have a growth mindset to where you're failing on a lot of different things, say, for example, you failed with a feature, right? Building out a feature, and now you have to go back and refactor it and actually, go back to the drawing board and build it better. This should be a learning tool for you to get better. Because if you stay the same at that level to where you can't solve this problem and you're spinning your wheels all the time on a particular problem, trust me, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to do the hard things every single day. So if the hard thing is trying to figure out exactly what you want to do in tech because of the uncertainty of getting a job right now, I would look at languages that will guarantee you a job in the job market and stick with that. And then every single day, learn that language to the best of your ability to where you understand the fundamentals. You understand how to build an application with it. You understand how to secure the back end with it, whatever you choose, and start adding more languages to your tool belt to then have a stack to where you can rely on these languages to get the job done and solve problems. That's all it is. It's that simple. So if you were to just stick with being comfortable all the time, trust and believe you're not going to find a gig. And you will stay stagnant as a junior or mid-level developer. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. So you have to grow every single day, at least 1%. I'm not asking for you to be 100% every single time because that's impossible. But learn as much as you can and put in that work. Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to pay off. Trust me, I've been doing this for 12 plus years and it's paid off tremendously with what I know now in understanding what's more important. Last thing I want to tell you guys is that, when you're interviewing for these companies or even applying for these companies, please do your research on the company first. Please do that. Because some of you guys are just applying, not even knowing what the company does, whether you're a good fit or not. Then when you get lucky with the job interview and they ask you like, do you know anything about the company? And you say no, bro, that's a bad look, man. Come on, you should know exactly what you're applying for. Always read the description. It doesn't matter if you're in survival mode trying to find a job. you have to make sure that you read the description at all times, because maybe it's not a job right for you. And I can understand faking it until you make it. But at the end of the day, if the culture's not right, why are you even wasting your time, bro? Because that's more important. The money there, okay, cool. If you really need money, do what you need to do. But you have to understand that the company culture is where you're going to grow, and you would actually enjoy providing value for a company that values their employees. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do that, then, you're going to be depressed. You're going to burn yourself out relatively quickly trying to get things done, and you're going to be miserable. So always make sure you do the research on the company. Always ask questions in an interview if you want to learn more about the company, what they do, what kind of products that they sell, what you're going to be doing on the dev team, what are some of the roles and responsibilities that you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis, and then also like how are the learning opportunities. These are some of the questions that you should ask during an interview, because this is your future too. It's not just you bringing value to that company. It's also what they could do for you. Not just the pay, but also the learning opportunities. If you're just working for a company that's just going to give you the bare minimum and you're not really learning anything, that's not fun. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you do your research. Just don't blindly apply to these companies, no matter how hard it is. Okay? So that's it, guys. That's the video, man. I just wanted to really, push this message out to you junior devs that are really struggling out here. You have to first find your why if you don't know what you want to do. Once you understand that, start creating goals and daily habits to get to where you want to be. If you're a front end dev and you're looking for opportunities in the back end, try understanding what areas in the back end are high in demand in the job market in your area or remote. Then just start buying courses online. You got Udemy, Coursera, you got other course websites that are out there that are probably better, but you could do your research on your own. You could go to ChatGPT and just prompt about courses that could help you with this particular language. Whether it's online, on YouTube, or through a course, you got to do what you got to do. You don't do that, you're going to stay the same, man. That's it, bro. So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know how it is as a junior dev right now. If you're looking for a job, I know it's tough out there, bro. If you need any help with like looking at your resume, looking at your portfolio, if you want to do mock interviews as well, you can reach out to me. Like in the description, I have my email, thefullstackbro@gmail.com. I'll make sure to reply to emails. I've been super busy, so I've been backed up on emails, but I'm caught up now. So if any of you guys need help with interviewing and all that stuff, we could schedule a call. We could go through a job interview that you are trying to apply for, and I'll have questions ready for you guys and test you on certain things for a technical interview or just like basic information. All right. We'll talk soon, and thank you guys for subscribing and commenting. I really do appreciate it. So take care.